Black women. Sorry that I haven't been keeping in touch, but I've been super busy with the holidays and super busy trying to get ready to get the hell out of this country in the next few months. I have been watching and following what has been going on in Europe with the yellow vest protests, and it's crazy. I'm hoping that this doesn't escalate where it's going to be difficult for people to travel to Europe. There's riots going on in Brussels and Germany and the UK and, uprising in Paris and, it's happening in Canada, and I'm concerned that what's happening in Europe is going to eventually reach the US. So this really kind of puts a damper on the possibility of many of us, trying to travel overseas. Is just, it's crazy. I mean, I've been watching what's been going on in Paris, France, and I'm just like, wow, shocked. Not surprised, but shocked that it's gotten to be so extreme. I have friends that are from Paris, and they are just devastated about what's going on over there. I also wanted to talk to you guys because I've been doing volunteer work as well at a shelter for women. And I know that for a lot of Black women, this is a very sad and lonely time. A lot of Black women have no family, they have no friends, they have no children. I've spoken to them. I'm just surprised at some of the stories that have been told to me. I have been doing some observation, and you guys know that I live in the arts district in Los Angeles, and unfortunately, I've noticed a huge increase in homeless Black women pushing and pulling suitcases and carrying around, 4 or 5, bags, and it's just, it's heartbreaking. And I had a chance to talk to many Black women over the last few days, and I have found that a lot of them have experienced extreme abuse. Many of these women have been beaten by their husbands, boyfriends. I've spoken to, girls that just got out of foster care, and they spoke about their stories of being raped as children, sexually abused as teens. I've spoken to, teen girls that had been held hostage, forced into prostitution. I mean, the stories are just heartbreaking. And then I look at, Black women just out and about, and, I have family, I have, friends, I'm okay. I've been, like I said before, I've been really busy, and it breaks my heart because there's a lot of Black women that are alone and they're suffering, and this is a very sad time of the year. A lot of Black women are alone. They've been abandoned. They've been abandoned by Black men, and many of them have been abandoned by their Black sons. I spoke to several Black women that had children. They had sons with homes, and their sons won't let them come stay with them. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, you carry a child in your stomach for 9 months, you give birth to it, you raise it, and it ends up abandoning you. Crazy. Black women, for a lot of us, this is a very lonely time. A lot of us will be spending Christmas alone. A lot of us will be severely depressed. I've seen it. I do a lot of volunteer work at a women's shelter, and I've seen it. I see the pain. And I I sit down and I let these black women talk and I listen to their stories. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking how so many black women have been used and abused, beaten, raped, lied to, cheated on, taken advantage of by black men. It's crazy. I want you guys to know that, like I said, I told you guys a while back to get that book called The Secret. Because I told you guys that your thoughts manifest to reality. You have to envision a better place for yourself, a better life, a better world, a better place in life for yourself. And I told these women, I said, when you go to the public library, because a lot of them, they do go to the library, to get warm. They go to the library to use the computer. I said, when you guys go to the library the next time, get the book called The Secret. I told everybody that. And, black women, I have so many things in my head right now that I want to get out. And it's just like, like right now it's like 5:18 in the morning. I get up really early. I start my day early. So bear with me, please. Look, I hope you guys took my advice and you got your passport. At the very least, I hope that it's on its way in the mail, because we need to get the hell out of this country. This place is over for us, black women. There's nothing left to salvage at all. I have had a chance also to look at a few YouTube channels, and I still see a lot of black women trying to, they go on these blackmail channels to try to, work things out with black men, and it's just, all they do is get humiliated and laughed at and degraded, and I'm just thinking to myself, why are you wasting your time fighting a losing battle? You can't salvage what's dead. And I keep telling black women, the black community is dead. Black love is dead. The black community is being replaced by the mixed race community. Black children are being replaced by mixed race children. Black love is being replaced by interracial love. And you know something, black women, I keep telling you guys, you're either going to be a part of the change or you're going to get left behind. I ain't getting left behind. That's why you haven't heard from me, because I have been on my toes, dotting my I's, crossing my T's, and getting prepared to get the fuck out of here. I got a few more months. I'm hoping that I can be out of here, the next few months. This will most likely be my last Christmas, hopefully. I still got a lot of loose ends that I got to tie up, but it's like, a lot of us need to wake up and realize that you cannot bargain with people that hate you, despise you, and look at you as something that is beneath contempt. You cannot salvage that. By the year 2070, okay, right now we are about 14% of the American population. Black people in this country are about 14%. By the year 2070, we could very well go down to 6% because we're disappearing. By the year 2070, you'll have to travel far to find a black couple, a black person. And, I keep telling you guys, you either date out or die out. I keep telling you guys, you have one of three options. You either stay in this country and grow old and die alone, or you get yourself into a situational lesbian relationship, which is not something that I'm going to do. Or you get yourself a passport and you travel overseas and you find love and you get married and you have your family and you move on. I got to tell you something right now. No, I'm going to save that for later. Black women, things are changing, whether you like it or not. And, there's an old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. You cannot hold out for this fantasy of black love. It doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't. It doesn't. I look around and I see more interracial couples, black women with non-black men and black men with non-black women. And, I'm seeing more and more and more mixed race children. And it's just like all the evidence is in front of you. It is over. I'm tired of seeing black women going on these talk shows, crying and screaming, about, why black men this and why black, it's over. I was talking to my elders about this and my family. It's over. Something, the men in my family, they are big sports fans. And I remember I was looking at photographs of the NFL and the NBA from like the 70s and the 80s, because the elders in my family, they like to collect old magazines, like Sports Illustrated, and other sports stuff. And I was looking at photographs of basketball and football teams from like the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. And then I started to look at like the current ones, because they get like monthly subscriptions, like, Sports Illustrated and other stuff like that. And I thought to myself, wow, remember how black men used to dominate sports? Not so much anymore. You got a lot of mixed race players now that are dominating. And by the year 2070, we're going to look back and we're going to see old photographs of teams that, pretty much used to be all black. And we're going to say to ourselves, wow, black men used to dominate sports. What happened to all the black athletes? Well, their sons and grandsons and great-grandsons replaced them. We're going to get to a point where we're going to look back. By the year 2070, we're going to look back and we're going to go, man, what happened to all the black people? We are disappearing. And we have to accept it. And it's getting, it's spreading. And I'm telling you right now, black women, if you're waiting on black love, you are a fool. I mean, I'm a black woman. I love you guys. I fight for black women. I support black women. I advocate for black women. But I got to tell you right now, I don't like to see black women go on talk shows crying about black men. I don't like to see black women go on these mail channels, these live streams, trying to work things out. It's crazy. It's not going to happen. The wheels are moving. Things are moving forward. And you're either going to get left behind or you're going to be a part of the program. And I know, hey, look, when I was a kid growing up, I used to think, what, I'm going to be just like my mom and dad and my grandparents. I'm going to, get married, have a, black husband, black kids, black family. But then, reality hits and you have to accept it. I never thought in a million years that I would ever be even considering having mixed race children, but I'm preparing myself. A lot of us have to prepare ourselves. A lot of us that don't have kids, like myself, we're not married yet. A lot of us have to prepare ourselves. We're not going to have black children. We're going to have mixed race children. And a lot of us are, we have to accept the fact that if we're going to leave something behind, if we're going to leave our mark on society, it can only be done by us having children or, I don't know, creating some great work of art. But, besides that, having kids, that's how we leave our mark. And you got to get over this whole black love and black family and black community. You got to understand something. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Black men have made it perfectly clear, loud and clear. They want nothing to do with black women. They're moving forward. They don't want black wives. They don't want black children. They don't want that. And a lot of you guys, I see it. You're trying to negotiate with these people, and it's not going to work. It's a guy in my family. He said, "Look, once a guy makes up his mind, it's pretty much set in place, and you have to accept it, black women. It is over. It's over." All you got to do is, let me tell you something. I want you guys to start wearing dark shades. And whenever you're around black men, I want you to wear dark shades. And I want you to look at their facial expressions and their body language when women of other races walk around. And that will show you, that will indicate to you that it's completely over. You have to open up your eyes and do something called observation. You know something, black women, I know that there are people out there that say, "Oh, Madam Logic Bomb is cuckoo crazy. She's out of her mind. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's crazy." But no, I'm not crazy. Nope. My eyes don't lie. I see what I see, and the truth is out there. It's over for black people in this country. And black women, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you don't take my advice and get your passport and open up your heart and accept the fact that a lot of us are going to end up with non-black men, we are not going to have black husbands, we're not going to have black children, we're going to have mixed race children, you have to do it or you're going to get left behind. You're going to get left behind. Black men have moved forward. That's the whole reason for the SYMB, the IPMOR, the MGTOW. They want nothing to do with their own race of people, and you have to accept it. I talk to the elders in my family, and only one of them, is married outside of the race. He's a nice guy. He's a cousin of mine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have an issue with that. He doesn't rub it in our face, and we only see him, during the holidays. But, things are changing, and you have